Hello everyone, welcome. How's it going? First of all, can you guys hear me okay? Does my voice sound okay? Just want to make sure everything's good. We always start a few minutes early just to work out any problems with video or audio or streaming or anything like that. And we'll get started right at 2 o'clock. For those of you who are curious, we're not starting right now, we're starting at 2, which is in about 15 minutes. Kate June. Good, nice. Lynn, Barsh, welcome. Oh, Lynn, you were here early. I see that message here. Cheryl Schaefer, welcome. Throwaway. Some other names I recognize. The Little Landlocked Mermaid. Sounds good. Nice. Cool. Yeah, I just made some small tweaks to my microphone. Same microphone, same everything, just changed the filters after watching a tutorial. They said it'll make it sound better. So I don't know if it sounds better or worse. If it doesn't sound at least as good, then I'll disable it. But yeah, so welcome everyone. We're going to be learning about this topic. Well, actually, it's in the title of the video, what we're going to be learning about today. If you don't know the prerequisites, 면서, 동안, 다가, if you don't know these already, then you have enough time right now to go watch my abridged version of these forms. I think it's 9 minutes. So you could actually watch these slow speed, normal video speed. You can actually watch it on the 75% speed. Take notes. You got time. Watch these and then come back, because if you're still a beginner and you're not already really familiar with these forms, how to say while normally, then today's lesson, which is also going to translate as while, might go over your head. So I'm just warning you. You do have time though, so go ahead and watch this. If you're still a beginner and you're like, Billy, I'm gonna learn this anyway, well, watch these first, that way you can follow along. Today is going to be an actually intermediate level, just like last week's was a real intermediate level. Is that a rapeseed field? I actually don't know what it is. I think we're in Jeju today. The plane landed. I got out. I was on the beach, and then now I'm in this nice field. I just thought I wanted to get out of the house a bit. You know, I can't go where it's crowded. So I figured, let me just go somewhere where it's, empty. And there's this big field in Jeju, the island of Jeju. So that's where I am today. I don't even know what this is. Is this? I don't know. Some yellow plant. You couldn't tell I'm totally a, what's the word? Botanist by my extremely high vocabulary. Yellow plant. Mikyok oppa, welcome. Let's see. JMT, 유창하게 말하고 싶어요. I want to talk fluently. You can. I mean, I don't know if you can or not right now, but you could. I'll say that you could. Studying, you can get there. I wish I could change the display name. It's too hard to pronounce. I have it abbreviated to the Little Landlocked Mermaid. It's not too bad, but yeah, I noticed it does kind of seem like a bit of a tongue twister. The Little Landlocked Mermaid. It's going to be like Sally sells seashells by the seashore, that kind of thing. I'm almost certain. Oh, you really? All right. I was going to classify it as yellow plant, but that's probably more accurate. Let's see. 식물학자가 아니에요. Yeah, I'm not a botanist. Sure. Fortunately, the Korean word is so much easier than the English word in that case. Welcome, everyone. Yes, so if you're just coming in, we haven't started yet. We're going to be starting right at 2 o'clock. We're still about 10 minutes early. A few announcements, though, before we get started, as always. The first, again, prerequisites. You need these for today's lesson. We're not going to be using them in today's lesson. These are a different form. But you need to already be familiar with them, because if you don't already know these, you're going to ask me, hey, Billy, what's the difference between 면서, 동안, or 다가, one of these, and 길, like 길이다, 길에, what we're learning today, 도중에. They have nothing in common other than the English translation being the same. So learn these first so you don't have that question. If anyone asks that question during the lesson, please refer them to this video that I made about these three forms. They're not related. Now, if you already know these three forms very well, and you have a specific usage question related to this form versus the forms we're going to be using today, feel free to ask that. But just a general question, like what's the difference, that it should be answered if you watch these. If you know these forms, you probably won't have that question. But yeah, let me know if you have any more specific questions, though. I'd be happy to answer them during after today's class is over, or through the lesson if we have time. Also, if you haven't already checked it out, I have a brand new curriculum that just started getting uploaded. I posted the first 10 videos already just a couple days ago. And there's going to be, for those of you who are curious, when's the next episode? I'm going to be putting up 2 new episodes, at least 2, every single week. It'll actually be, some weeks will actually be 3. And I've scheduled it, and hopefully it should all be finished before and uploaded before the end of this year. So if you want to start it and you think like, well, this is never going to finish, you know, at one episode a week or whatever. When am I going to finish this whole course? Well, the end of the year. So it should give you plenty of time to go through each lesson slowly, practice each lesson while you're doing it, and then wait for the next lesson and then do that. So you've got about, 6-7 months or so, you can be able to complete this whole beginner course. And then by the end of it, if you complete it, you should be at least it's going to be a low conversational level. I'll say that, low conversation. So you should be able to hold a conversation, although it won't be very fast or intricate, but it should be a conversation. I'll say that. So there's going to be at least 100 episodes. It might be a little bit more. I haven't finished planning out all the topics yet. That's what I'm actually still working on. But when I did a quick kind of outline of what topics, like general types of things I want to cover, I came up to, well, it would have to at least be like 80 episodes to possibly even 140 episodes. So we'll see. New curriculum is really awesome. I've sent a lot of people to. Oh, nice. Thanks. Yeah, it already has the first 10, which is Hangul. So if you want to start it right now, you can complete all of Hangul at least. And it's a little bit different than my other video I have already for learning the alphabet, in that I'd say it's taught a little bit more slowly. Some things it goes into a little more detail, but overall it's just a little bit more organized because that video is several years old and I've had time to think about how I can better explain some of the concepts in it. And Small, welcome. Hi, Small. Someone said 100 episodes of what? That's the new curriculum. I've already posted the first 10, and there's going to be at least, like I said, at least about 100. It could be more, but I'm planning on having at least the first 100 done and uploaded before the end of this year. And then we'll see how it goes. If it gets really popular, maybe I'll do more. If it's not so popular, I'll at least finish what I've started. So, other announcements are, if you want to get a worksheet for today's lesson that goes higher level than what we're going to be talking about, check out my Patreon. You can download a worksheet for this lesson right now. And usually the worksheets have example sentences that would be too long or too difficult to fit within this live stream. So if you ever feel like, oh, the live stream's a bit too simple for this lesson, I think I'll pass. Well, check out the worksheet that gets released with it, because it's usually it's just step up. So it gives you some practice to try out some more real world situations for every grammar form that we do. Now, there aren't worksheets for every lesson. I started doing it, I think, just a few months ago, maybe 4 months ago or so. But since then, there have been one for every single lesson. So check those out. Also, the outline for today's lesson will be available on Patreon within the hour after this live stream ends. So you can re-practice all of the explanations. I include what I teach, as well as the example sentences. They're all on there. I think that's all the announcements. Oh, and one more. Next Sunday, there is no live stream. Again, there is no live stream next Sunday. As usual, it's always 3 live streams in a row. Sunday, 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 and then 1 week off. That's just so I can kind of have time to do other projects. With this coming Sunday, I'm going to be doing just work on the new curriculum videos. Oh, I got a donation, right? Grandpa Mikey, thanks for your lessons. Yeah, thank you, Mikey. I always keep saying Mike, like it's fancy. Grandpa Mike. Thanks, Grandpa Mikey. I gotta do a special dab for that. Let's see, do you want the dab party? Well, actually, if I ask you, it might take too long to reply. There might be a bad delay here. Let's do a dab party. Dab party with the harp and the dance party. I was like, I like stop and think, what am I doing? I'm like, I'm 33. I'm going to be 34 this year. What am I doing? Like dabbing in a stream. I'm teaching Korean and I'm dabbing to music and like dancing. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. Mike, like Pokemon. Oh, I have, when Pokemon was brand new, I had this, maybe I've already shared this story. One of my friends got an original VHS tape that was advertising Pokemon before it came out. This was in like, I don't know, 1996 or something in the US. And the video, they advertised it as Pokemon, the Pokemans, because they didn't know what it is. So they're thinking, well, how can we say this in American English? Like, well, it's the Pokemans, and they've got so many Pokemans. I just remember that they said it like that, and I'll never forget that. That was, I think, I was in elementary school, maybe my my last year of elementary school or something like that, or maybe it was 5th grade, yeah. Stay young and useful. Thank you. Yes, I hope so. Pokemans, yes. Just covered this in your book yesterday. Oh, nice. Yes, this will be more information than what's in my book for that, because this is only about this one topic. That's why. And we're also covering, like I said, we're doing not just 길, but 길에, 길이다, 도중, 도중에, and how to use that type of stuff. So yeah, that's all of the announcements that we have. So we'll get started in just a few minutes, but feel free to ask any quick questions before we start. That's how my elementary school teachers used to say it too. Yeah. Yakira Gitelman, I have your book. Nice, thanks. I have my books too. Will the beginner stuff follow your book chapters? No, this is a video series. It's I made it for people who want to learn Korean with videos, because there is no video series for learning Korean, at least not right now. As far as I know, I have the only free video series for learning Korean. And like I said, it's not just going to be only Hangul. It's going to be in order, like an actual, like a paid course. That's the idea. This is a paid course for free. I hope other people will make their own video courses after seeing mine. I hope I can inspire other YouTubers or other creators or other companies or whatever to make free courses for learning Korean. But yeah, I just noticed there wasn't one. And sometimes, you know, when I'm learning other things, like not Korean, but, you know, if I'm trying to learn, say, 3D art or trying to learn drawing or whatever, like I would like if there was a course, right? You know, you want to find like a free course, but there wasn't anything for Korean. So I'm like, how could this be? There's so many videos for Korean, but there's no courses. So that's why I started it. But yeah, it's not going to be the same as the book. It's not just a copy of my book. I reuse some of the artwork just to make it easier, to make it, you know, easier on the eyes. But nothing of the contents is going to be copied. So it's a different order. Some stuff's taught in a little bit of different order. And it's made to be a little bit easier so you can kind of watch it casually. And I'm hoping that maybe when it's finished, this will be I can put it all together in one big playlist, maybe as one big giant video, and you can just watch it like 16 hours, 20-hour video, and do the entire course, like maybe on a long plane trip or something like that. Fine, I'll do it myself. Exactly. Yes, fine, I'll do it myself. I am inevitable. 저는 inevitable-이에요. I'm sure that's not how Thanos said it. Someone asked about 길래 and 길에. 하길래. Because the grammar for making it is going to be totally different. You will never get these confused. You will never get 길에 confused with 길래, because the grammar for using it is completely separate. And in order to even use one, you'd have to be intermediate anyway, which means you'd probably understand the grammar that they're using. And contextually, it wouldn't make any sense either, since 길래 is more of a because. Yeah. So you won't get them confused. Are there advantages to watching the full live version? Yeah, of course. The full lives are much slower. So I might teach something and I'll explain how to use it like 5 different ways in the live stream. And then in the abridged version, I'll just take one. I'll take my favorite version of that and just explain it once. That's the difference. So if you can, I always recommend watch the full live streams. Some people say my abridged videos move a little bit too quickly. That's because they're supposed to be as fast as possible. But yeah, they're just more like reviewing, and the live stream is for when you're learning it. Yonsei offered a video courses a while back. Oh, did they? That'd be cool. What's a Discord? Oh, Zilly, welcome. I have a question. Where do I go after learning Hangul? Search after Hangul in Google. You'll find my video. What do you do after you learn Hangul? And I have a video where I explain things that you would want to learn, you know, the different topics you'd want to make sure you know, and some resources for that. Not just my own books, but other resources you can use as well. Would it be good to keep the videos as some sort of additional stuff to the books? You can use both of them. Yeah, it's not going to hurt you to use both. They're not going to teach conflicting stuff. Okay. But yeah, the new series, I'm not just reading my book and copying it into a new series. They're brand new lessons. So I'm making a brand new form in a new order. Just another way of teaching, just, you know, just for another different people who want to learn with videos, not with books. I'm also going to be adding some more stuff. They're not, starting with episode 20, there will be some more native input as well. So it's not just going to be only my voice for the whole series. We'll also get some native speakers for that. Just, you know, to improve it. So yeah, let's get started then. Today we're going to be learning how to say on the way. Like, I'm on the way there. Or I'm on the way right now. Like that. And you can do that a few different ways in Korean, but the one we're going to be using today is 길. Now, 길 is a regular noun that means a street, or a road, or a way, as in, I'm on the way. Way. And the way, so when you're using this with a verb, and let me show you first how you use this with a verb. You take a action verb, stem, and then you attach 는, and then you have a space, and then you attach 길. And what this does, first of all, is this changes the action verb into an adjective in the present tense. So if you're familiar with that regular form that has something 는 and then something else, this is the same thing. You take an action verb and you take an action verb stem, attach 는, and then 길. And that's the way that you use it. That's the basic form for using it. But we're not done yet. Let me just stem, add this to my notes. What this literally means then is that you are on the way, coming somewhere to here, or going somewhere to there. So you're on the way, either going somewhere or coming here. I'll say that one more time. What this form means at its heart is that you are on the way, coming here, or on the way going somewhere else. Therefore, you have to use this with a motion verb. You cannot use this with regular verbs to have this meaning, because it literally means, as well as in translation, that you're on the way. Well, what do you say in English when you're on the way somewhere? You say, I'm on the way out of my house right now. I'm on my way walking to work. I'm on my way driving there. I'm on, or maybe he is on his way here. It's always a going or a coming motion. So it has to be some sort of motion verb. This will most of the time be something that ends with 가다 or 오다. Most of the time. So something 가다, something 오다, a verb that has this in it. Now, it doesn't have to just be 가다 or 오다. It can also be things like 나가다, you know, other verbs. But pretty much 99% of the time, it'll just be something that has 가다 or 오다 in it, if not these verbs itself. There are some exceptions to that, though, but they're pretty rare. I shouldn't say that. There are some exceptions to this, but they're not as common. Something like 퇴근. 퇴근하다. Or 출근하다. Oops. 출근하다. 퇴근하다 means to go home from work. So I'm on my way home from work. Or 출근하다, to go to work. So I'm on my way to work. Now, these do not have 가다 or 오다 in them, but they do definitely show motion. So these types of verbs are also acceptable, but these ones are less common. Most of the time, you'll just see it used with 가다 or 오다 in some form. Okay, so what is this then? How do we use it? So now we know what it literally means. It means literally on the way, doing something. It can be used in two different ways. Now, the first way, actually, I think this pen is about at the end of its life. Let me try the black one now. Sometimes when I'm not doing my live stream, my kid runs in here and tries to draw stuff on the board and like pushes really hard with the pens. So, okay. So there are two ways to use this. You'll see it either as 길에, in the middle of a sentence. So on the way to going or coming somewhere, well, then something else happens, or you do something else. Or another way is just at the end of a sentence by using the verb 이다, to be. So I am on my way to or from somewhere, or I was, in the past tense, on my way to or from somewhere, like that, at the end of a sentence. So these are your two options. In the middle of a sentence, then something else, or at the end of a sentence with 이다. Of course, you're going to conjugate this verb. So, now that we finished explaining it, let me give you your first example. 지금, right now. Let me just check, make sure everything's good. Let me just read the chat for a second. I still need to work on that sponsorship for you with the Expo marker P. That's right, yeah. I definitely need to get, if you work at Expo, please contact me. I will say, brought to you by Expo. For every live stream, if you pay me, send me free markers. I go through these things like candy. Like I use so many of these, and I would use a new one every live stream if I could, just because I like that new marker feeling. Okay, so let's do our first sentence. 지금. 지금 is right now, in case you're wondering. Not just now, but right now. 지금 먹으러 가는. So here we have, excuse me. So here we have 지금 먹으러 가다, to go, to eat. So 먹으러 가는, notice we have 가다. So we can do something with this with our form. 가는 길이에요. Let's just end our sentence. So we take 이다, we conjugate it to 이에요. I am present. The way, going to eat right now. Right now I am on my way to eat. Specifically, I am on my way to go to eat. So, 지금 먹으러 가는 길이에요. I'm on my way to go eat. So like, I'm on my way to go eat. Like maybe you're walking down the street and you see your friend and they say, where are you going? 어디 가요? And you say, 지금 먹으러 가는 길이에요. I'm on my way to go eat. And your friend says, 같이 가요. Let's go together. 저도 같이 가도 될까요? Can I go too? Can I go with you? Something like that. So there's our fake situation. 지금 먹으러 가는 길이에요. Right now, I am going to eat, or literally to go to eat. Okay, I'm going to leave this up here for just a second. So read over this. I'm just going to check the chat for a moment. Let's see. I'm gonna while you guys are reading that, I'm gonna switch my blue marker for a new one. Is this one? Okay. You guys doing good? Tiffany, stay. The difference is the second one is wrong. They asked 먹으러 and 먹으로. There is no 먹으로 grammar form. 으로 is only a particle that attaches to nouns, never to verb stems. Someone asked, what's the difference between 가는 길 and 가는 중? 중 is a completely different form used for saying that you are in the middle of doing something. I think I have a video about 중. If you search my channel on my Learn Korean series, I think I have a video that covers 중, in the middle of doing something. It might be in the same episode as where I teach the progressive form, like 하고 있는 중, 하고 있다. But anyway, it just means in the middle of doing something. It's not on the way to do something. Yeah. Like you would say, I am in the middle of cooking, but you wouldn't say I am in the way of cooking. It doesn't make any sense. I'm on my way to cook doesn't make any sense. I'm on my way to go cooking would make sense. But remember, 길 means literally away. So you are on the path, moving somewhere, whether it's there, 가다, or here, 오다. Okay, next sentence. Oh yeah, that nice new pen. 지나가다. 지나가다 means to pass. 지나다 means to pass normally, like something's passing. 지나가다 is to pass by, like to go and pass by something. 지나가는, notice, 가다, still, 가다. 지나가는 길에. So on my way passing by it, so I was passing by it, and on the way, I'm passing by, 지나가다. And on the way, 길에, on that way that I'm passing by, literally like on that street where I am. At that point when I was passing by on my way there, 방문했어요. 방문하다 means to visit. So I visited somewhere on my way passing by. So while I was passing by, I visited there. While. While. This form actually doesn't have to translate as on the way. Literally, it actually does mean on the way, right? We talked about that. 길 means way or street or road, way. But it doesn't literally have to translate as on the way, because if you translate this as on the way passing by, yeah, you kind of understand it, but it's not quite a very natural English translation. In this case, while passing by. While passing by. While. But obviously, if you've learned the other three forms of while, which we're not going to be talking about today, you should be able to see how this is different. This does not mean any of those other forms. This does not mean while I am passing by, you can't stop by while you're in the middle of passing by. You're not going to pass by, well, someone else is not passing by while you're passing. This is literally on the way. So on the way somewhere, while I was passing by, I stopped and visited. 방문했어요. I visited somewhere. So this is actually really like on the road that you're on, where you're going, that path of you going somewhere or coming here. Somewhere along your trip, somewhere along that trip of going or coming somewhere, you do something. That's what this form literally means. And sometimes that can translate to while, if it sounds more natural. Our previous sentence that we just did, 지금 먹으러 가는 길이에요. That wouldn't translate as while. Like, I am while on my way to go to eat. In that one, in that sentence, it just sounds natural to say, I am on my way. And whenever you use 길이다 at the end of a sentence, it's going to usually just translate as, I am on the way to, or I am on the way from, something like that. But when you're using it in the middle of a sentence, it can often just translate better as while. While on the way passing by, or while on the way I was going somewhere, right? With some verbs, it can be a bit confusing how you should translate it. But if it doesn't sound natural to say on the way, translate it to while. But don't go backward from English when you're doing that and translating. If you say, like, while I was eating, I found a coin in my cereal. That's not 길. For one thing, eating would not be using the 가다 or 오다. And eating is not some sort of like a path. You're not going, you're not eating, you're not moving anywhere when you're eating. So you have to think about it like that. 길 is actually a literal path. The path that you take when you do some sort of motion, when you're going away from you, going somewhere else, or something's coming to you. That line, that literal path of motion is what this form means. And sometimes that can translate better to while. So think about that for a second. Does that make sense? Does this kind of help clear up what this form literally means? Although while sounds really good in a lot of cases. 만나러 가는 길? Yeah, while you're going to eat someone. 지나가는 길에 공원에 앉았어요. I sat, well, 공원에 would be I sat on the park. You don't want to say that, doesn't make any sense. You could say I sat on a bench at the park, 공원에서, something like that, at the park, but 에 would be the direct location of your sitting down. So you sat on the park doesn't quite make sense. It's too vague, like where in the park? What are you talking about? So you could use 에서, I sat at the park, but then like where at the park again? Like you don't really say I sat down at the park in English. You would say I sat down on a bench at the park, something like that. So we can replace it. Nope, Tiffany Stay, please check out the live stream I did about while. Those ones do not work in the same way as this. And hopefully you can see now, if you're familiar with those already, then you should be able to get this part. But if you don't know those forms yet, then seeing it as a literal representation of the motion that you're going or someone's coming from, then that wouldn't really make sense unless you're already familiar with the other forms for while. I'm just letting you know the translation in English is often while, but it has nothing to do with the other forms. Again, I'll say it one more time. In case you missed it, in case you were drinking something while I was talking, one more time. 길 is a literal path, a literal street or a way that you are moving. So you're going somewhere. 지나가는 길. So it's that line that you're walking along or going along. It's that literal path that you're taking to go or come to go somewhere or to come from somewhere. Something happens along that path. That's what 길에 means. If you say 길이다, to be, you're saying I am somewhere along that path of going somewhere or coming somewhere. In English, that can translate to while, but the usage is not the same as regular forms of while that don't have anything to do with that path. The other forms of while would just be talking about the time something happens. Like while I am eating, like while I am cooking, at that time I am cooking, like that. This doesn't have to do with the time at all. You don't know when this happened. You can't. You don't know if it's at the beginning of the trip or the end of a trip or at the middle of a trip. It's just sometime along that movement. And it's only used with 가다 or 오다 verbs or verbs that show motion like 가다 or 오다. There aren't too many others besides verbs that are 가다 and 오다도 anyway. I'm like trying to speak Korean mixed with English. 가다 and 오다. I can't even speak. Okay, so 지나가는 길에, on my way, passing by, or more naturally, while passing by, 방문했어요. So you're passing by, 지나가다, and you're walking along this path. Pretend that there's a path on the ground. Imagine a yellow brick road going down the road, and you're walking on this yellow brick road. That is 지나가는 길. That is your road that you are passing by. You're passing by stuff, but that's the road. On that road, somewhere. Oh, I see some place I'm going to visit. 방문했어요. You stopped. You're like, okay, well, I'm going to visit it. On my way anyway. Okay. Then you go back on your road and continue. So that's what this literally means. And that's actually what you can think about when you're translating this, because it is. It is a literal road. On the way, passing by or going anywhere, on that road, somewhere along that road, you did something. That's what it means. Or someone does something. Okay. I've like tired myself out explaining this grammar form. And we're only on the second sentence and behind on time. All right. 이번에, this time. 이번에 한국으로, toward Korea, to Korea. 이번에 한국으로 가는 길. So let's just look at one part. Before I complete the sentence, let's just look at one part of it. Actually, you know what? No, let me finish writing it up and then I'll point out the part I want to show you. 길에 This is similar to the previous sentence. Okay, this is very similar to the way that our previous sentence worked, but a little bit longer. But before we look at the sentence, before you like focus on what the sentence pieces mean, just look at this part. 한국으로 가는 길. 한국에, to Korea, 한국으로 가는 길. So now we have you're going to Korea. And this line that connects you where you are with Korea where it is, you're going there. So maybe you're flying. You know the movie Indiana Jones where they're flying and it shows like the red line going across the map? That is the 한국으로 가는 길. That's the way, the street in the sky. The red sky, whatever. You know, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just imagine a map with a line going through two locations. Okay, 한국으로 가는 길. So that's the way, that's the street that goes to Korea. So on that route, somewhere on that route, on the way, we say. But you could also say, while going to Korea in English. It would translate that way too, right? Perfectly natural. On the way to Korea. Or while going to Korea. Both are fine. Sometimes while will be more natural. Sometimes on the way will be more natural. Whatever. Just know that it's the literal way. So on that route, going to Korea. So let's look at the rest of the sentence. 이번에, this time. So this trip. 이번, this time. 이번에 한국으로 가는 길에. So this time when I'm going to Korea, even when, right? While, when, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's the same meaning in this case. This time on my way to Korea, on that road, while I'm going to Korea, somewhere along that path, 중국, China, 중국을 방문해 보려고요. I'm going to try to 보려고. I have a video about 려고 하다 in my live stream about saying intentions. You can check out. Not going to explain it here. 방문하겠습니다. You can think of it like that. 할 거예요. I will visit. Just think of it like that. 방문해 보려고요. So I'm going to try to visit China this time on my way to Korea. So you're going to Korea and on your way. You're going to Korea. Well, you're probably not flying the airplane, but you're sitting in the airplane, right? You're crouched up like this. Your arms are like T-Rex arms because you don't have any armrests. And the person next to you is sleeping on your shoulder and you're like trying to cut the eggs with your knife and fork like this, you know? And then the waitress is like, would you like some water? And you're like, I literally could not fit a cup of water in here, but you get it anyway and you stick it on top of your hamburger because okay, you get the idea. So while you're going to Korea, you're on the path. Your plane's flying along that line, that route that you saw on the internet when you planned out your trip. And you like put little pins on the map and you have like a line going from America to Korea. You know, you draw this line like this, do Korea like there. On this line, on this 길, on the way this time, you're going to stop somewhere in China. You're going to take a trip. You're going to visit 방문하다 China. 이번에 한국으로 가는 길에 중국을 방문해 보려고요. 이번에 한국으로 가는 길에 중국을 방문해 보려고요. So this time on my way to Korea, I'm going to visit China. So maybe you're like, well, here on my way to Korea, well, I'm just going to go visit China and then continue on to Korea because it's still on your way to Korea. Okay. All right. You guys doing okay? You guys doing good? I have flown a lot. I cannot count how many times I've taken the trip to and from Korea in an airplane. I've been there every year, so I take the trip at least twice a year. Okay. But things are a little bit better in Korean Air, I think, than the other airlines that I've tried. At least better service, usually. Okay. So, how are we on time? Terrible. Great. Okay. 바다, ocean. 보러 가는 길에. So, on the way to go to see the ocean. So, on my way to see the ocean. Do you guys know 해? 해 would be in English sashimi, but it's not it's not like the same as Japanese sashimi. It's just raw fish chopped into little pieces that you eat with a chopstick and you dip it in 초고추장, which is like spicy red pepper paste. And it's really good. So 횟집 is a place that sells that sort of 회. So you just get this big, it's like the styrofoam containers that you get from to-go places. It's about maybe half that size or maybe the whole size if you get a lot. Just filled with raw fish. Filled with it. So if you like sashimi, it's wonderful. It's just filled with it. You get like one kind or maybe two kinds. And then you just grab like a big scoop of it with your chopsticks and dip it and you go, nom, 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 nom. Anyway, 횟집. If you don't like seafood, I'm sorry. Get out. No, I'm just joking. It's really good though if you like seafood. But if you don't like seafood, yeah, I understand. A lot of people don't. Okay. 바다를 보러 가는 길에 횟집에. And now a useful verb. 들렀어요. Now, before I even write this, before I even tell you this, I'm going to triple, quadruple check this word. Because this is a super, super, super common word that's misspelled by Koreans all the time. And I spell it right. But I'm not going to, I'm like triple checking, even though I already checked this. Okay. 들르다. 들렀다. 들렀다가. Okay, let me just double check. Okay, it's loading. I just want to make sure this is 100% accurate. The verb, I'll tell you, the verb first is 들르다. 들르다. And it means to stop by. Super useful verb. Like I stopped by my friend's house. Like as in to visit for a short time. 들르다 쓰기다 하나 들르다 잘못인다 들르다 들르니 등으로 활용 들렀다. Okay, cool. Yes, perfect. That's correct. But it conjugates as 들렀다. But you'll see most of the time you'll see people conjugate it as 들렸다. And that's how people will also speak. It's 들렸어. Anyway, just letting you know that. Okay, so I stopped by at a 횟집. 집 is appended onto nouns. It's attached to the end. It means a restaurant. Literally house, but you know, sashimi house, but it's a restaurant. So I stopped by a 회 restaurant on my way going to see the beach. So on my way to the beach, I stopped by at a sashimi restaurant. That sounds like a good beach trip. 바다를 보러 가는 길에 횟집에 들렸어요. Did I just say 들렸어요? Did I just say it? I think I just said it. I'm going to say this again. 바다를 보러 가는 길에 횟집에 들렀어요. Okay, we got it. 바다를 보러 가는 길에, going to see the ocean, 길에, on the way. While going to the beach, or when I went to the beach, or whatever you want to say, on the way to the beach, 횟집에 들렀어요. I stopped by, 들르다, a 횟집, a sashimi restaurant. Okay. Sad and hungry. All right. Okay. Let's do the next sentence. Yeah, actually, one of my best friends doesn't like raw fish. So I'm like, okay, a lot of people don't like it. I happen to love raw fish. Unfortunately, it's very expensive, so I cannot have raw fish very much. Maybe like a special occasion, I'll be like, let's do sushi today, kind of like that. Okay, 쓰레기, trash. 쓰레기를. You know what? I want to give you guys this one. Okay, finish the sentence. I'm going to give you this. 쓰레기를 버리다. To throw away the trash. I want you to use this in a sentence. 쓰레기를 버리다 and 길. You can make it really short. If you're a beginner, make this as short as you can. If you're an intermediate, make it a little longer. And then I'm going to give you a sentence in just a second. So go ahead and try this on your own. While you're trying it on your own, I'm going to write up a sentence. 쓰레기를 버리다. All right, I'm writing up the actual sentence. Don't look at this. And I'm going to look at your sentences after I write it. How are we on space? Oh, we're good. Okay. All right. If you already have a sentence, now you can look up. If you don't, I'm going to check out your sentences, but you guys can read this. Let me check out, see what you guys have. 쓰레기를 버리러 가는 길에 고양이 봤어요. 고양이를 봤어요. Okay, I saw a cat on my way to throw out the trash. So I was going, and on that route, going to throw away the trash, so between me and where the trash can is, on that line that I'm walking, I saw a cat. Cool. 쓰레기를 버리는 K Bay1. Remember, it has to be used with 가다 or 오다. Remember. 보러 가는 길에 무서운. Oops, Tiffany, stay my day. You have a typo there. 버리로, you have 버러. 가는 길에 무서운 옆집 남자 철수 만났어요. I met the scary next door neighbor guy, 철수. Okay? 쓰레기를, Z Sophia Ban as well. It's always 가다 or 오다. 쓰레기를 버리는, again, anonymification. It's only 가다 or 오다. Several of you have 버리는 길에, but that, well, let me check. Did I typo here? No, yeah, I have a typo. Sorry, I wrote it here because I had just written 버리다, but you have to also add 가다 somewhere. Maybe you looked at this sentence and then you wrote yours down wrong. If you looked at mine and then wrote yours down wrong because of that, it's my fault. I'll take the blame. It has to be with 가다 or 오다. Some sort, or a verb that has to indicate motion. Okay, there we go. And we'll read this in a moment. I'm just writing it up here. Okay, let's see what else we got. Yeah, that's what happens when I just stick 는 onto what I wrote to give it to you guys, instead of actually looking at my sentence. 쓰레기를 버리러 가는, 버려? It should be 버리러 가는, 빙기. 쓰레기를 버리러 가는 길에 잃어버렸어요. 쓰레기를 잃어버렸어요. 잃어버렸어요. Okay. If someone says, where's the trash? You can say, I lost it on my way to throw away the trash. Okay. Skylar, 버리러 가는 길에. If you're going to use 가다. You could use 버리러 오다. Oh, hi, Danny. 버리러 가다. Not 버리는 가는. 떨어졌어요. Okay, I dropped. 쓰레기를 버리러 가는 길에 떨어졌어요. Okay, I dropped the trash while I was going to throw it away. 가는 길에 뚱뚱한 사람을 만났어요. Not Camille, you have 이 봤어요. That means that person saw something because you marked it with the subject marker. But you needed the object marker for that since you saw the person. 쓰레기를 버리러 가는 길에 당신은? Teacup. I don't understand exactly what you're trying to say. But try again. Also, you have 버리 가는. 버리러 가는 길에 새로운 핸드폰. E would also be incorrect because E is the subject. E shows what is doing the action. But the cell phone is not. You also have 찾다 spelled wrong, but regardless of that, that would be the cell phone is the one doing something, like finding something. So you don't want the subject marker, you want the object marker, since you are finding the phone. Okay. Yeah, if you guys are if you're a beginner and you got this wrong, don't worry, this is not the lesson for you. This is, again, another intermediate level lesson. So here, let's do the sentence that I have. 쓰레기를 버리러 가는 길에. So on the way, going to throw away the trash. 쓰레기를 버리러 가는 길에. On the way to throw out the trash. On the way to go throw out the trash. 땅, the ground. 땅에 떨어져 있는 is dropped, has been dropped on the floor. 땅에 떨어지다, to drop on the floor. 떨어져 있는, in the state of having been dropped on the floor. This 져 있는, I think I have a video about it already. But anyway, 페트병, a pet bottle. We don't really say pet bottle in English because we don't do that. We don't do that recycling in America, but it's the bottles that are recyclable. They're the common types of bottles you buy from vending machines and you just drink them and recycle them. You know, they're called pet bottles. Anyway, they're just a type of bottle that you can recycle. 페트병을 주워서, from 줍다 meaning to grab or pick up, So like if you say 춥다, it's specifically like picking something up from the ground. So 춥다 is to pick up something from down on the ground. Pick something up. 주워서, and then I picked it up, and then 같이 together 버렸어요. And I threw it away together. So I guess I'm just throwing away the pet bottle that I could recycle, but whatever. I'm at least trying to clean up the ground, okay? 쓰레기를 버리러 가는 길에, while I was going to throw out the trash, 땅에 떨어져 있는 페트병을 주워서, I picked up a pet bottle that was dropped on the ground, and 주워서 같이 버렸어요. And threw it away together with the rest of the trash, as in 같이, together with something else. 쓰레기를 버리러 가는 길에 땅에 떨어져 있는 페트병을 주워서 같이 버렸어요. So, while I was on my way to throw out the trash, I picked up a pet bottle that had fallen on the floor and threw it away together. Okay, and if you want some more examples, make sure to check out the worksheet, because the worksheet has even longer examples that you can play around with. It has a few translations from English to Korean, and then most of them are translate from Korean to English because they're quite long. It would be a bit too hard to do long translations from English to Korean, I think, with this form. Okay, that is the end of 길. But we have another form today. Let's see. Is clean the last word of the sentence? What word? Oh, when I touch the board. Okay. The next form we're going to be using is 도중. Now, 도중 is like 길. So, the next form we're going to be learning is 도중. And 도중 is a lot like 길. 도중 actually comes from 한자. Let me actually write that up here. I believe it is, yeah. I think that's about right. Okay, that should be readable. Okay, 도중. 중 means in the middle of something, like while you're doing something. So in the middle of, 도 means the same thing as 길. So now, instead of just saying 길, like along the way, you're saying in the middle of that way, somewhere on the way in the middle. It's pretty much the same meaning as 길. Even though you might think, oh, now it's in the middle of doing something. It's really the same meaning though as 길. There are some differences though. Let me first write up. Middle of the way, or also could be while, or just on the way. So the translation will be the same for this one as it would be for 길. But 도중 has a slightly more formal sound to it. And because of that, less common than 길. You'll hear 길 9 times out of 10. And 도중, you'll most often just see it in, you'll see it in writing, you'll see it in more formal speeches, you'll see it anytime someone wants to sound more fancy. Because it's a Hanja word, it's a Sino-Korean, Sino meaning from China, so Chinese-made word used in Korean. So because of that, it's slightly less common. It can be used in the same way as 길. So you take an action verb stem, I'm just going to write AVS. So that would have to be like if you have 하다, you would take 하는 도중에. Let me write this actually. Let me write how to use it on a fresh board. Because this is already looking pretty messy with my explanations here. Okay, so you take an action verb stem. Then you attach 는, just like before, and then 도중에. So, if you had 하다, you would get 하는 도중에. Aha, Billy, you said 하다. I thought we had to use this with 가다 and 오다. Well, 도중 does not have such restriction. You can use 도중 with any action verb. It does not have to end with 가다 or 오다, or even show any sort of motion. Now, it can show motion. You can use this with kada and oda, just like kir. But it doesn't have to be. You can use this with any verb that you want as long as it's an action verb. So you could do something like 하는 도중에, while I am doing something. Now, the meaning of this is going to be a little bit different, and we'll talk about that. There is, however, only one way that you can use it. You're not going to be using this with ida. You can use this with 에. So it's going to be 도중에. But there's another way you can use it that's different than this we'll talk about in just a second. So the basic way to use it, again, you take an action verb stem, you attach 는, so you get the action, so you get the adjective form of whatever action verb you're using in the present tense, and then you attach 도중 and then 에, and then you finish the rest of the sentence, just like 길에. But now you have the meaning of while doing something on the way. Well, it could be on the way, but now it's more of just a meaning of like while you're doing something or in the middle of while you're doing something. It has the feeling, however, of you're doing a process. So just like 길 had the feeling of you're doing something along the way, of going somewhere. Well, this one also has that same sort of feeling, but it doesn't have to be used with a motion verb. It can be used with a action verb, any action verb. So it's that sort of path that you take, the process that you do when you're doing an action. I hope that doesn't sound too confusing. First, we worked with the actual literal motion, the path you take when you're going somewhere or when someone is coming here. Now we're working with that sort of figurative. So now we're working with that sort of figurative path of the process to doing something. If that's an action that is emotion, if that's another emotion, sorry, not emotion, if that's another motion verb like kada or oda, well, then we get the exact same meaning. On the way or on the way here, on the way there, like that. But if it's an action, it's more of like the process of doing something. Like if you were to say something like, in the middle of arguing. So Charsu is in the middle of arguing. Well, Charsu's arguing, and during that process, sometime during the process, Charsu is arguing. On the way, while he's doing that, that's sort of meaning. And this doesn't really translate to on the way unless you're using it with a motion verb. If you want to think about this form as being similar to any other form, it would probably be more similar with just the 중에, in the middle of doing something. And this is used in the same way also. Action verb stem plus 는, 중에. 가는 중이에요. 하고 있는 중이에요. I am in the middle of doing something, because we learned that 중 is a 한자 character that means middle. But now we also have this 도, 길. So it has to do with the process of doing something. And it's a little bit more of a formal word than just 중에, which only means in the middle of doing something, like while you are still doing something. This is in the process. So this is more like in the process of doing something. While you're taking care of something, something else happens. And again, it's more formal. So you're not going to be using this so much in conversation. But let's do one example. And then I'll show you another way you can use it, which is actually more common. Okay, so 집으로 돌아가다 means to come home, or sorry, to go home. 돌아가다. So to return home. 도중에, or you could have written this as 길에. Same thing. 집으로 돌아가는 도중에, again, 길. So in the middle of the road going home, we'll just look at this example first. 도중에 친구를 만났어요. I met a friend. Make sure we're doing okay. Oh, donation. All right, let me just write this. Let's check who it is. Hey, Grant. Oh, welcome, Grant. I was just emailing with you the other day. Wow, it's a wild Grant. Yes. Gems. Wow, gems. 50. Dang, I'm gonna give you get a producer credit for this one. Gems. You stay on the board the entire live stream. Up here. You get, and your name will be in the credits. Like some of the videos, I have like the producers, they get their little name at the end of the video. Yeah, thanks, Gems. I got to do a big party for that. Let's do the taegukgi. You know what? I don't know if a taegukgi is enough. I think we need some kimchi too. Maybe some stars. This is kind of like your pledging of allegiance, you know, but you do it with like this. You gotta hold it. Gotta be really like reverent toward the flag. All right. Thank you. Awesome. And welcome as well. I didn't know you were here. Let's see. All right. The dab's more for himself. He's enjoying it way too. Yes, I admit it. The dabs are really, they're just an excuse so I can do dabs. And you guys pay me to do what I want to do anyway. I want to dab. All right. So, stop motion dab. Yes. All right. So, again. 집으로 돌아가는 길에. 집으로 돌아가는 도중에. So again, 길, 도 meaning 길. So on exactly the same meaning as 길에, just more formal. So less commonly used. And I'm going to tell you something. This sort of usage is not really that common. This sort of 는 도중에 is more, it's more of like a formal usage. You're not going to use it so much. It doesn't have to be like formal so much as I should say. It sounds like fancy, like you're trying to sound a little bit, is extra the right word? You're trying to sound a little bit fancy. 집으로 돌아가는 도중에, so on the way, going home, 친구를 만났어요. I met a friend. 집으로 돌아가는 도중에 친구를 만났어요. So I met a friend in the middle, on the way, but it's really just on the way. That middle doesn't really do anything for this form. It just means 길. It's the same meaning as saying on the way, going somewhere. So I met a friend on the way home. But now, I've showed you how you can use it like this. Again, this is not really commonly used in this way. 도중 is common, but not in this form. The more common way that you will see 도중 used, let me just erase this. Let me see, first, let's see if I have any other, 도중. Okay, the more common way that you will see 도중 used is just as 도중, not with any verb. Noun plus 도중, no 에, not used at the end of a sentence with ida or anything like that. Just noun. Specifically, this will often be a Hanja word, but it doesn't have to be. It can also just be a pure Korean word. Noun, 도중. If you want to use it with a noun, if you want to use this form with a verb even, you can. If you convert the verb into a nominalization form, as I've taught in a previous lesson, like changing 하다 to ham or 먹다 to 먹음 into a noun, you can also use it with this too. But it doesn't matter, just any noun. I'll say any noun, even a verb changed into a noun. Any noun plus space, you have a little space here, and then 도중. So noun plus 도중, finish the rest of the sentence. This is a formal way to say while doing something, during the process of doing something, on the road to doing something, like that sort of thing. You know, you're taking care of all the steps in the process, and on that road, along the way, right? Along the way, on the road to learning Korean, like this sort of usage. Now, literally, it means 길, just like before, but this can also be used to say not just the actual road that we're moving, but also just more of like, you know, on the road to, right? Like, I'm on the road to learning Korean. There will be many setbacks, that sort of meaning. So it's talking about the sort of process to doing something. So along the way, while I was learning Korean, you know, I was learning Korean, and along the way, I also made lots of friends. That's sort of meaning of along the way. So here it's not with motion verbs, but just with any sort of noun. This is the more common way that you'll see it. And it does have a more formal sound. So this will be one that you'll see in writing, business emails. You might hear someone say this if they're trying to speak very formally, but it's used a lot, just not in casual conversations. So let's do an example. Actually, make sure you write down this definition, on the road to. I think this is a pretty good definition that matches. Okay, putting some notes there to add to the outline. Actually, let me write up a sentence, and I'm going to check the chat for a second. Okay, how are we on time? Yeah, not too bad. We just did this. 수업, as in class. 수업, that's a noun. 수업 도중에. Not even 수업 도중에, just 수업 도중. Done. Super easy to use. On the road to class doesn't really fit, but you know, while you're doing class, in the middle of class, during the process of having class. So somewhere along this process of doing class, you might just translate it as during or while we had class. 수업 도중. 화재 means a fire, as in like a fire accident. 제 I think would be like the character for accident. 화 is fire. So this would be like a fire. There was a fire at school. That sort of fire. You wouldn't say 불 있어요, like 불 있어요. That just means there's some light. That could mean light. It could mean fire. 화재 is the actual incident of a fire. So 화재 알람. So the fire alarm. 이 울리다 means to make. Well, to ring. For alarm. 울려서, so the alarm went off. It rang. The fire alarm rang. So, 모두, everyone, all, 밖으로 나왔어요. So everyone came outside because the fire alarm rang. 수업 도중, during class. Along that process, so on the road to doing our class, while we're doing class, that sort of process, while class is going on, during that road of doing class, literally, 수업 도중 화재 알람이 울려서 모두 밖으로 나왔어요. 수업 도중 화재 알람이 울려서 모두 밖으로 나왔어요. So, in the middle of class, in the middle of, you might want to translate it as in the middle of, just because 중 by itself means in the middle of. So notice sometimes you might want to translate this as on the way, on the road, or just in the middle, or while. It could have lots of different English translations, but the meaning really is sometime along that process, sometime while you're doing that. 수업 도중, during class, 화재 알람이 울려서, because the fire alarm rang, 모두 밖으로 나왔어요. Everyone came outside. All right, now let's check the chat for a second. Yeah, signs will also use this sort of type of thing, type of language. Emails will use this type of thing. Noun 도중. I think this is probably the most common way that you'll see it used. Not that you can't use it with action verbs like we just did here. But more often in conversation, if they're going to just use the 는 도중, they would just use it as 는 중에, because it has a similar enough meaning. And 중에 sounds really natural, whereas like 하는 도중에 is kind of like an emphatic, like in the middle of doing something, while doing something. It just doesn't really seem necessary because 도중 itself is a 한자 word. It has more of that formal, fancy feel to it. So using it in a casual conversation together with casual speech, casual grammar form, like 는 도중에, it's more of a spoken grammar form style, doesn't really seem to match as much. It doesn't match as well as just using it in a formal usage, like here, 한자 word or, you know, strict noun, 도중. Sounds much more formal. 수업 도중 화재 알람이 울려서 모두 밖으로 나왔어요. Have you ever had that where like in the middle of a class you just don't want to be in, but then the fire alarm rings and then you get to go home? Well, not really. You get to go outside and you miss class, but then the teacher still expects you to finish the homework. It's not as cool as it sounds like it would be. 김철수, let's get our friend Charsu out here. 김철수 씨는, so Mr. 김철수, oops, made a space here. 부부 싸움. 싸우다 means a fight. So 싸우다 is to fight. 싸움 is a fight. 부부 싸움 is basically arguing with your spouse. Couple argument. So Charsu was arguing with his wife, probably Kim Young-hee. You know, those two, they go together. So 부부 싸움. So here we have our noun. 싸우다, 싸움, fight. 도중. So in the middle of, while they are doing that couple fight. So while Charsu is arguing with his wife, during that, 짜장면, you guys know 짜장면, the black noodles, they're delicious, slightly sweet. Yeah, they're really good. 짜장면. Okay, anyway, 짜장면을, you're gonna like this one. 해서 먹었어요. So, Charsu 씨는, so let's talk about Charsu. So Charsu, in the middle of a fight with his wife, in the middle of arguing with his wife, while he was still doing that, and he's still going to keep doing that, so somewhere in the middle of that process, in the middle of arguing with his wife, he ordered 짜장면, 짜장면을 주문해서, and then 먹었어요. So Kim Charsu, in the middle of arguing with his wife, ordered and ate 짜장면. So he's like fighting with his wife. Is blah, 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 blah. Hold on 1 second. 네. Yeah, let me get 짜장면. Okay, thanks. Yeah, all right, bye. I told you. Blah, blah. Okay, then the 짜장면 comes and he just, oh yeah, thanks. Okay, yeah, pays for it. Starts eating 짜장면. What is this guy? What is Charsu doing? 김 Charsu 씨는 부부 싸움 도중 짜장면을 주문해서 먹었어요. So Charsu, in the middle of arguing with his wife, in the middle of a couple's argument, 도중, while he's doing that, 짜장면을 주문해서 먹었어요. He ordered and ate 짜장면. Okay. Let's check here. You do not like those noodles? How dare you? Can we use the 기 nominalization as well? 사오기 도중? Nah, I would recommend not using that. I'd recommend just using straight nouns. Most of the time, you'll see this used with actually Sino-Korean nouns. So that would be like the last one, 수업, like that. It can be used as well with verbs, but they'll also be with the full nominalization for making it into a complete noun. Not just the regular ones like 는 것 or 기, which are used for different purposes. It'll use this form if you're going to be using it with a verb. So yeah, and you won't see it too much used with verbs like this. Like I said, most of the time you'll just see it used with a Sino-Korean noun by itself. It doesn't necessarily have to be Sino-Korean, just most of the nouns tend to be Sino-Korean anyway. But yeah, so you'll see it mostly like that. 김 철수 씨는 부부 싸움 도중 짜장면을 주문해서 먹었어요. Okay. Next sentence. We have two more. my 택배. So delivery 상자. So my delivery. So now this literally means delivery box, 상자, but it's also used to just refer to the actual delivery item, the box that you ordered. If you just say 택배, you're not talking about the physical item, you're just talking about the delivery itself, like the, what do you call it? Figurative, well, that's not a word. The concept of a delivery. So like my delivery was delayed in that sense, or my delivery got canceled. But this is the actual physical box. So the box that I ordered is what you'd say. The box I ordered, so my delivery box, my order, in that sense, 가, 배송. 배송 is a noun that means delivery. So this would be like you'd have 배송, you'd have a delivery fee, you'd have a delivery, or delivery charge or delivery system or whatever, that would use this word 배송. Whereas 택배 is the actual order, like your delivery order that I do. I mean, you can look these up in the dictionary to find different examples of this if you want as well. But 배송 is the regular word for the actual delivery. So 배송 도중. So in the middle of delivery, so somewhere along its delivery, right? Again, don't lose sight of the fact that this is still here in hiding. 중 is in the middle, so during that, in the middle of that road, but it is still on its road to being delivered. So in the process of being delivered. It's not just the same as saying while being delivered. when that happened. At the time it was delivered, that's not what it means. This is just somewhere along that road. It doesn't have anything to do with time, just the process, that path. So on its road to being delivered, so while it was being delivered, 배송 도중 없어졌어요. Okay, I think this black pen's dying too. I gotta replace this also. 없어졌어요. It disappeared. 제 택배 상자가 배송 도중 없어졌어요. So my package was lost while being delivered. My package, 택배 상자. I had a delivery box, 택배 상자. And 배송 도중, on its way to being delivered, 배송, being delivered, or shipped, I guess if you want to think of it like that. Would this be trying to see if there's a better translation for this. I know it's not really part of the lesson. Delivery, it's still deliver. You can think of it also, if you want to distinguish it more from 택배, if you've never seen these words before, just to help you understand the sentence, you can think of it as shipped, shipping, being shipped. So while being shipped, or while being delivered, it's the same thing in Korean though. 배송 도중 없어졌어요. 제 택배 상자가, my delivery box, my package, 배송 도중, in the middle of being shipped, along that process of being delivered, shipped out, 없어졌어요. It disappeared. So I lost my package during delivery. Is what it means. Or my package was lost during delivery. So my package was lost during delivery. And then you fill out a report and they say, no, you signed for it. And they send you a picture and it's like some guy says his name's like Charsu on it. And you're like, my name's not Charsu. And they say someone at your residence is named Charsu and he signed for it. And you're like, you guys never even came to my residence. I have a camera at my door. I know you didn't come. And then you have to escalate it to the supervisor who says no. And then you call your credit card company and they give you a chargeback based on, almost based on a true story I had once. Okay. I had an order once for my laptop, not my current laptop, my previous laptop. And it got delivered to the wrong address. And I told them like, hey, I never got it delivered. They're like, oh, we dropped it off at this day at this time. I'm like, no, it's been so hot. The door's been we've had the door open all day for the past week during the daytime. No one came. Like, oh, okay, well, we can't give you a refund. It was delivered. So I had to like talk with the manager and then they talk with their manager. And then they told me we can't refund it. It's your fault. So I called my credit card company. The credit card company's like, that's ridiculous. They gave me a refund. I found it anyway. Yeah, it was a terrible situation. Okay, last sentence. Marathon, 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 경기. 경기 means like a match or contest, something like that. So this is a marathon, like the marathon competition, that sort of sense. So marathon, 경기, 도중. So during the marathon, so while you're doing the marathon, so like the path you're taking on the marathon, that whole process. 도중. Here. 마라톤 경기 도중에. This is just used emphatically. You can optionally add a if you want in these cases, but it's not necessary. It just adds a little more emphasis, like during the marathon, instead of saying just during the marathon. It's the same meaning though. So you might see it sometimes with or without a. The difference is, there's no difference in meaning though. So, 마라톤 경기 도중에. So you're running a marathon and you're on that path doing the marathon. 회사에서, from the company, actually let me rewrite this. The pen's all dying. 회사에서, from my company. 연락 is a contact. But that's how you would say I got a call. You could say 전화가 왔어요. I got a call, like a literal phone call, 전화. But you could also say 연락이 왔어요. That means I got contacted. It could mean a phone call. It could mean a text. It could mean an email. 연락 just means any sort of contact. But they often use 연락이 오다. So here we're going to have 연락이 왔어요. They often use 연락이 오다 just as a way of saying I got contacted by my company, as in like they called me. Most likely it would have been call or maybe a text message, something like that. 마라톤 경기 도중에. So in the middle of the marathon competition. So I'm running this marathon. In the middle of it, along the way. Sometime during that marathon, in the middle, on the way, 회사에서 연락이 왔어요. I got contacted from my company. So my company's probably saying, hey, if you could come work on Saturday, that would be great. Yeah, like that. 마라톤 경기 도중에 회사에서 연락이 왔어요. So I got a call from my company in the middle of or during a marathon race. 경기 could also translate as race in that sense. 마라톤 경기 도중에 회사에서 연락이 왔어요. So I got a call from my company during, while I was on the road of doing this marathon race. All right. That was our last sentence for today. I'll leave this up for a second, but I have a few announcements to make. Your company has terrible timing. Yes. Few announcements again. Remember, the new series is now up on my channel. I'm going to be posting 2 new videos, at least 2 new videos every single week. It should be completed by the end of the year with about 100 or so episodes. Some weeks will have more than 2 videos a week, but just at least 2. So you can watch the first 10 right now. That'll go all through Hangul, and then the first lesson, which I think is just how to say hello. It's not going to be as basic as you might think. It's actually going to go through all of the beginning concepts. So it's starting with just some basic phrases, but then it will be going into how to conjugate your own verbs, make your own sentences, all of the grammar and everything that you need to know for basic conversations, like really basic conversations. I'm just being realistic with you. You're not going to get fluent from watching that series, even when it's finished. It's for a basic conversational, like, I just need to learn some Korean. I've always wanted to learn Korean. I just want the stuff that'll really benefit me as quick as possible. That's what it's for. So yeah, it just started. Also, other announcements are you can get more example sentences. Let me just erase this here. If you are a Patreon member, you can get even more example sentences than what we did today. And in fact, all of the example sentences on the worksheet, with a couple exceptions, most of them are higher level than what we've done today. So if you want a little bit more exposure to these forms, both 길 and 도중, check out the worksheet. There is about, I think, 12 more problems on there you can translate. Also, the outline for today's live stream as well, with all the explanations, will be available on Patreon within the hour. So you can get that too. Make sure to join our Discord if you want updates. There's also merchandise if you want to show off your Charsu swag. Let me find that. Where is that? Is this the shirt? I think that's the shirt. Yeah, I think that's the one. That's the design. One of my friends made the design, and then I added the text to it and made it into the. Anyway, it's half made by me, half made by my artist friend. Yeah. And then next week, next Sunday, there will be no live stream. But then after that, we'll do another live stream as usual. So we'll keep going. But we're just going to take a week off. I'm going to be working on writing more episodes of the new curriculum. Currently, I have 16 videos ready. But I need to make sure I need to do the next 20 or so again. So I need to make sure I always have plenty in advance. So yeah, thanks for coming. And feel free to now ask any Korean questions for the next 15, 20 minutes. I'll take a few Korean questions. So yeah, thanks for coming though. Let's see. 키캣은 한글로 키캣. Actually, you know what? I don't have an official spelling for 키캣, but yeah, I think, 키캣 is okay. Or you can do it with, you can also do it with ai. 키캣, I don't really care. I think this one looks a little bit neater. But it's the same pronunciation, so it doesn't matter. Kikat herself doesn't really care. Yeah, I've actually thought about that question since I first introduced Kikat to the channel. And my conclusion then is the same as it is now. It doesn't matter. She's a bear. Oh, Lynn. Hey, Lynn. Thank you. Lynn. Awesome. The donations today are going to completely pay for my internet upgrade. So oh yeah, let me do a quick dab. Thank you, Lynn. So since I have done that internet upgrade, which I said I paid $20 more per month, and they double my speeds, it's been good. It's been a success for that. I don't think we've had, I don't want to jinx it now. Of course, I can always have problems. The internet can always go out. But as far as when the internet's working properly, we have had much better results for the streaming. So, and I'm also going to try to improve it a little bit further tomorrow. I think I'm going to switch out my modem or something. Anyway, yeah. Let's see what other questions we have. Oh, and then I didn't finish reading what Gran had written. 고양이 네 이름이 뭐야? 네가 내 이름을 부르는 도중에 네가 곰 왕국에서 온 거 갓 세븐. 오 키캣이야. 조이를 도와주셔서 she praying to Kikat there. All right. Let's see. Billy, get your spelling straight. It's Kikat. She is just Kikat. Sometimes she doesn't speak any Korean. Other times she speaks perfect Korean. You know, it's whatever the video needs her to be. She's not what the YouTube needs, but she's not what YouTube deserves, but she's what YouTube needs. Something like that. What's the difference between AO and EAO? Just AO after a consonant. I mean, AO after a vowel, or EAO after a consonant, but you have EAO spelled wrong. It's just EAO, not EAO for the second one. Yeah, feel free to ask any questions though. If they're related to the lesson, I will prioritize those. If they're not, did I just hear GOT7? I think so. God 7, yeah. Kingu using the dab emote, the regular dab. Do you stand? I don't know who GOT7 is. I just know it's a K-pop group, and I'm assuming it's all guys. I don't know how many members they have or any of their songs. I am not your I'm not your traditional Korean student. I didn't get into Korean from listening to K-pop music or Korean dramas or anything like that. I just like the language. I had a bunch of friends. So I don't know anything about K-pop for the most part. I'll never rest until people stop using the term stan. Well, you just used it, Ahimong. You just wrote it. Oh, Mihal. I believe you always make the same donation amount, so I think I have it memorized. It's like $13 now. It depends how the currency fluctuates, but I think it's like $13 or something like that. Billy only loves BTS. I don't know if I should say this. No, I won't say it then. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Mihal. Gotta do another dab. I'll do the kimchi dab for you. Wait. Where is it? Why is the kimchi dab? Maybe I messed up the file. I have to check out what did I do with the kimchi file? I can't find it. Okay, well, we'll just do a regular dab party here. Cool, thank you. Thanks. Billy likes Twice? No, I don't. I don't listen to Twice. I'll never get over the fact that Twice says "chal up" instead of "cheer up" in their song. The $13 I'm on. Of course, I always remember. Well, it's the same amount every time, and I can't be keep looking it up. So, and I remember your name pronunciation. You told me it was like Mihao, kind of like that. Trying to destroy your career. Don't say it. Don't say what? Favorite Korean singer? I like no one. I like people depending on the song. Some songs I really like the singer, and then I don't listen to any of their other songs. Like I don't care. I think the I mean, some of the people I liked were like when I was living in Korea that I know of, like Lee Hyori was pretty popular at the time. But like, and then I wouldn't say I'm an Lee Hyori fan though, because I haven't listened to her stuff since like 2005, I guess. 2005, 2006, I think. Yeah, so I don't really stan anyone. Oh, if I have to pick someone though, I will pick the one K-pop group that I got to meet, which was Purpleback. So I'll pick them if I have to pick. If I like any K-pop groups, I'll pick Purpleback. I like them because they met me, right? That makes them special to me. Ichi Droid, check out my live stream about those forms. I have a separate live stream where I talk about Myeonso, Dongan, and Taga. You can search. I think you just search abridged live While, and you can find it. Or it's in the Google Doc that I post on my community tab. Yeah, I don't have a favorite singer. I do have favorite songs, though. He wants to say he doesn't like your favorite group. Small Billy, we know you're a BTS fan. It's okay. We already know it. Yeah, my shrine. That's right. No, I mean, I don't dislike them. I don't dislike any K-pop groups. I'll say that. So if you guys like K-pop group, that's wonderful. Perfect. Yeah, I won't dislike any of them. I think it's great. And especially what BTS is doing. I'll say I really like what BTS is doing. I think they're incredible for getting so many people interested in Korean. Because Korean until 2012 was like mostly an unknown language before Gangnam Style really. And then still though, even after Gangnam Style, Korean wasn't really popular. And then BTS really made it more of a worldwide, like a thing to like learn Korean, where it's like, oh, it's kind of cool to learn Korean. That was started from BTS. So yeah, I really appreciate what they're doing. Why do you look like you're being held hostage? Can I answer that? Yeah. No, I'm just joking, you know. Do you think I'm going to try to kill you or something? Next question. How to say I was eating, you'll get canceled on, for what? I don't understand. How to say I was eating strawberries while watching my Korean class with Billy? Why? Well, you would say while. You wouldn't want to use this form. So you would just want to use the regular forms for while, which I taught in a previous live stream. But I'm not going to be doing those again today because those are 3 other forms. Where'd you get your hat? It's from Korea. I got it from Korea. You like it? It's not my original hat. I have my original hat in my closet right here. I mean, in my closet back at home because I'm in Jeju right now. But this hat also I got it from Korea. As well as this shirt is from Korea. These pants are not from Korea, but my belt is from Korea. And pretty much everything else I'm wearing, use your imagination, is from Korea. Even my socks are from Korea. But the pants, I'll admit, I like American brand pants more than the Korean pants that I've tried. His face. I'm crying. I didn't even realize Gangnam Style was Korean at the time. Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't really know what it was. Difference between 연락이 왔어요. I thought I just explained that. 전화가 오다 is specifically a phone call, and 연락 is just contact. So any form of contact. So it could be a phone call. It could be a Kakao message or text message, or it could be an email or something like that. So I got contacted. I wonder if you have to speak 존댓말, the KitKat. Buddy, 반말. We just speak 반말. KitKat and I, we're really close. Aren't you, KitKat? Yeah, we're pretty close. So KitKat, we just, oh my goodness. Scarf. Just hide that in there. Yeah, KitKat, we totally just speak 반말 together. We're not really formal. It's just all about this the casual speech together. Yeah. You gotta go back. You can't be out here. That's not safe, KitKat. It's dangerous out here. Stay up there. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're cool. Strangles them. Like, isn't that right, Buzz? Give me a high five. Oh, I love you, pal. Toy Story. I really like everyone talking about like Toy Story, liking Toy Story 3 or Toy Story 4. I just like Toy Story 1. Just that was my favorite. That was the best one. Toy Story 1. I think it's the most grounded movie. I think it makes the most sense. It's the simplest story, best music, best character arcs, like good character development, and best story. Not the funniest though. It's not that funny. I think that 3 or 4 is much funnier, but it's my favorite one though. I'm starting to think Billy isn't it. No. You can clearly see I'm in Jeju. Where else would you find all of these yellow plants but Jeju? And look at that. Look at the water. They don't have water anywhere. Only in Jeju. Okay. Any other Korean questions? Korean and Jeju, sta. Leon, I did a video about that actually a couple weeks ago. Search my channel for some of the recent videos. You'll find one I did all about Jeju dialect. I think your facts are a bit off, but it's okay. I believe you. What facts? What facts are wrong? Whoever learned Korean before K-pop, good for you, but it doesn't make you better than anyone else. Please don't have that attitude. It ain't nice. Who said it makes you better? Doesn't make you better. If you learn Korean before K-pop, it probably means you're actually trying really hard, but it doesn't mean that you're better, because people these days still, like, and back then, plenty of people who try to learn Korean and just don't do it before K-pop and after K-pop. Like, it makes no difference. But the motivations would be different. So there's a lower chance that you would be motivated by just music, or just, I shouldn't say just music, but without a proper motivation, without a strong motivation to actually learn the language. Your motivation might not be to actually learn the language these days. That would be the only difference. But if you want to learn Korean now, it's no different than if you wanted to learn Korean before, only now you can have access to resources that didn't even exist before. So yeah, you have a much better chance of actually learning Korean now than someone trying to learn Korean 10 years ago, because there just wasn't much for learning Korean. So if you want to learn Korean 10 years ago, you had to go to Korea, buy a bunch of books, self-study, or get tutors or something like that. Whereas nowadays there's lots of different options. So you can casually learn Korean these days, but it wasn't such a thing 10 years ago, because there just wasn't like, there wasn't Talk to Me in Korean or any of that. So yeah. Ichi Droid, I did a lesson about Kil-e and Kil-e last week. No, they're not pronounced the same. One is Kil-e and Kil-e. Which video do you recommend for someone who already knows Hangul? Laura A, I would check out my video that says, what do you do after learning Hangul? Because I don't know where your level is. I'm not sure what you've learned and what you haven't. But there's like a list I give in that video of like a bunch of stuff that you can learn. Check through to make sure you know all of those. But if you don't, then you can learn one of those in any order. Beyond that, then you'll need to look for some intermediate resources though. Yeah, and the sound change rules. You might know Hangul, but you might not know the sound change rules, which I know they don't usually teach because they're kind of a bit overwhelming. I admit that they're not that beginner friendly to learn. But I do have the new series I did also give sound change rules in one video. I think it's like 23 minutes. So it's not really that long. You can learn them quite quickly. Because they're learning Korean because they like K-pop. If someone's learning Korean because they like K-pop, who cares? If they are not learning Korean, but they are saying they are learning Korean, then they're deluding themselves. But if someone's learning Korean, who cares if they're learning it because they like K-pop or because they like a Korean guy or a Korean girl? People have been learning languages to get a girl or a guy to like them since probably the beginning of time. It doesn't really make sense. If you're actually learning Korean, who cares why you're learning it? I mean, you're not learning it for nefarious purposes. You're just learning it for whatever reason you have. You know, if you get married to a person who's from Korea and you learn Korean, who cares? Like, you have a motivation, you have a reason. Actually learn it. Great. Yeah, I would only have a problem if people are like, I'm learning Korean, but they're not learning Korean. But then that's just straight up lying. That doesn't have to do with their purpose for learning Korean. I don't care if someone wants to learn Korean for K-pop, like, just be honest about it, learn it, actually learn the language, and then that's great. Laura, yeah, so welcome. This is going like totally like serious conversation by the end of this live stream. I still have 4.5 years to learn Korean before I hopefully go there. That's a very long time. Yes, I would say it's a very long time. 4.5 years, you wouldn't get fluent in Korean likely in that much time unless you're like really immersed in Korean. But it's enough time to get completely conversational, like easily within like even 1 year is possible to get conversational. Depends how you're studying. But yeah, 4 years if you keep at it. Yeah. Before I go to university. Nice, nice. Yeah, that'd be great. I wish I could have gone to a Korean university. I think it would have been a great experience. Now, though, it would be a bit difficult to just, give up everything and go over to Korea to attend school. But I think it's great if you can do that. That's definitely one of the best ways to learn Korean, is if you can get over into a university over there. How much do you think a person can improve if they live in Korea? It could be anywhere from 0 to fluency. And it just depends what are you doing? Are you in Korea hanging out with other non-Koreans speaking English? Working as an English teacher? Talking with your English-speaking friends? Or are you trying to meet Korean friends? Going to Korean meetups? Practicing Korean? Learning Korean while you're there? It just depends what you're doing there. Being in Korea means nothing if you're not actually trying to expose yourself to the language. He's fluent in German by now. I started studying every day thanks to you. You're the only teacher. Oh, great. That's awesome. And he's fluent in German. Yeah, I mean, that's another great way. You have some sort of motivation to use the language. And if you actually work hard, just getting married to someone doesn't make you learn the language, or dating someone doesn't teach you the language at all. You have to actually learn it yourself. Is Miss Vicky here? I miss her. She is not right here. She doesn't live here. I did a collaboration with her just this last week, which was fun. Been having a lot of dreams in Korean. I had a dream that I went to Japan, because I also speak some Japanese. I had a dream I went to Japan, but for some reason my Japanese just wasn't coming out. And you know what I was speaking, I kept mixing in Korean. It was really frustrating because I was trying to speak my Japanese, but all I could think of was talking in Korean. It was a really frustrating dream. I was actually supposed to go to Seogang this summer. Yeah, it's too bad. A lot of people were supposed to do different things this year, like, either graduation or starting summer, like study abroad programs or work abroad or whatever. And yeah, a lot of that got canceled. I also was going to go over to Korea as usual, but I have to wait, because if I went over right now, I wouldn't be able to film the videos that I want to film. Mix the languages together. All right. So yeah, thanks for everyone for coming. I won't keep going any longer. I'm just rambling now. And I will see you guys again next time. Remember, there is no live stream Sunday, so I will see you again in 2 weeks. But make sure to check the community tab of my YouTube channel 1 week from now, and you'll see a new vote. Actually, no, I take that back. There is no vote, because we're going to be doing the last topic on our list, and then we'll get new voting options. We'll get 5 new voting options after that. But the next week, there's no live stream. The next week after that, there will be another live stream, which will be advanced level. I believe it's 의하면. Yeah, I think it's according to. So we're going to be doing a full advanced lesson. This might be the most complicated lesson we've ever done. One of them. We've only done like 2 other advanced lessons. But yeah, so that'll be fun though, and you're welcome to join no matter your level. And I'll see you guys again next time. 그럼 다음에 또 봐. Okay. Now that I'm in Jeju, what else can I do here in Jeju? Maybe I could go to the beach, or... Oh, maybe I can go to the beach. Oh, maybe I should go to the beach and then go to the beach. Yeah, that sounds good. So much stuff to do.